She is the most compassionate person I've ever met.
She's very focused, she's very dedicated, she's very loyal.
Bold, courageous, trailblazing. We would not have marriage equality in this country, or indeed across the world, were it not for Chief Justice Marshall.
Margaret Marsdhall would be the first person to tell you that her beliefs about fairness, anti-discrimination, justice are all rooted in the fact that she grew up in South Africa during apartheid and that she was in active leadership of the student union there. On the eve of Robert Kennedy's visit to South Africa, all of the officers of the student union were picked up by the police. They essentially vanished, except for Margaret Marsdhall. And so overnight, Margie was left to be the leader greeting Robert Kennedy and escorting him around South Africa.
Each time a man stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope.
She would tell you that she didn't feel that she was a courageous person, that courage was something that was foisted on her by the circumstances and that stuck to all of our benefit.
She was a real pioneer among women in the Boston Bar.
Of course, being the first woman Chief Justice of the Supreme Judicial Court of Massachusetts has to be well up there on any list.
She served in academic administration as chief counsel of Harvard University, first woman to have that job, a very big job. I first knew Margie as the woman who married Tony Lewis, who was my mentor all through my 30 years of covering the Supreme Court in his footsteps. I admire her grace, her intelligence, her loyalty, the love that she and Tony had in a wonderful marriage of the mind as well as the heart.
Julie and Hillary Goodridge brought their 8-year-old daughter Annie with them to City Hall. In Boston, they were the first same-sex couple to apply for a marriage license.
Chief Justice Marshall's decision in Goodridge is remarkable.
The important thing about the decision was it didn't carve out a role for same-sex marriages. It incorporated the notion of same-sex marriages into all marriages.
It was transformative. It set in motion an amazing movement across this country and across the world.
Since the chief came back after her years as Chief Justice to Choate, she's performed in a very special capacity here. She is the senior counsel. There's nothing more exciting to the young lawyers when they start at the firm than to be brought by and introduced to Chief Justice Marshall. I think in terms of Margaret Marshall's greatest impact on Boston and on the Commonwealth, it's going to be her years as the chief of the Supreme Judicial Court. It is in particular going to be the Goodridge decision, but as we step back another 5 years, 10 years, it will be the entire body of law that will make her a key Bostonian for generations to come. Margie, I was so thrilled to learn that you had been named as a distinguished Bostonian. Honestly, I can't think of anybody who deserves it more. Thank you for being my friend.
Congratulations, Margie.
Thank you for the indelible mark that you have left on the people of Massachusetts and the people across this country.